What's happening today, Guardians? I hope y'all are doing alright, man. Look, I've been messing around with a few weapons, kinda something outside of what the meta is. And you know, I started to realize something. Exotics are supposed to feel, well, kind of exotic. And these are 5 exotics that I just feel are lacking. Of course, you can run out there and get a kill with it, man, but that's not the point. If there was 5 weapons that I wish Bungie would really kind of take a little time with and tune them up before introducing new exotics, it would be this 5 right here. That's right, fellas, we're gonna count it down, man. Top 5 shitty exotics here in Destiny, and 5 weapons that definitely need to be tuned up a tad bit. At number 5, guys, I've got Hard Light. And despite me getting a hard on for this gun every time I use it, it's just not that good in competitive environments. Now, don't get me wrong, man, it's a fun-ass weapon. Ain't nothing like a map like Pantheon, like bouncing bullets off of everything. And let me tell you, I just lay on that R2 button whenever people are around walls and corners and everything else. It's pretty damn awesome to see everything ricochet. But at the same token, man, the stats that align with it just makes it not really a good weapon. You know, when you take a look at this and you start messing around with it, you think it's gonna be great, but then you know, because of just simply off of the stats, but it's just not as good as it should be, especially being the exotic auto rifle that it is. But hell, man, that's most of our exotic auto rifles to begin with. Number 4, fellas, I got Telesto. Man, Telesto is an extremely fun weapon. God, I love using this weapon. The cons being, though, is it normally results in a trade. A lot of times it results in a trade, and that's the problem with Telesto, man. I'm not saying that it needs to really be changed or anything. Again, it's kind of like Hard Light. They're both extremely fun weapons and something I tend to use in 6s, but at the same token, I can't really say it's a competitive weapon because of that delay effect. As you see, once you land those shots, it takes it a moment before it finally takes effect to finish the enemy off. And in that moment, they can finish you off, whether they're rocking a shiny or last word or whatever it may be, but it results in you being exposed there for just a moment. Hey, I took it up in the trials, though, and I did go flawless with it this past weekend, so I'm not saying it's not viable. Just saying that it just makes it a little tough, though, with that window where it actually takes effect.
I can feel a change.
At number 3, guys, I gotta go with the 4th Horseman. Now, this gun is full auto, and I guess back in the day, full auto actually meant something, maybe. You know, some of the guns you kind of wanted full auto on. But here with this gun, man, the recoil is just so out of control at times when you start blasting away at people. And on top of that, as you can see, at point blank range, where most shotguns would have killed a dude, it took me 2 shots because just the range on it is just absolutely pitiful, and that's the thing that's just the killer with this gun. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad gun. I mean, it's pretty fun to mess around and use, but as far as just where it aligns, it has the worst range out of every shotgun, man, just making it not a viable choice in any type of competitive play. And number 2, guys, I gotta go with Fabian strategy. Now, it's not that I'm picking on Fabian. I know for some people Fabian works good for it. But here's the thing, man. This is my thing about Fabian, where I find it to be really underwhelming. Compared to your other class items such as the lock and ace of spades, ace being actually a pretty damn good PvP weapon and PvE, but a really good PvP weapon, and Talak being one of probably the most powerful scout rifles in Destiny when you have overflow active, I found Fabian's strategy, man, just not to be cutting it for me. And it's just as much work as you put into getting your rank up with the gunsmith and it also being an exotic, I expect it to really outperform a lot of your other weapons, at least your legendaries. But Fabian really is in a dire need of some look and attention from Bungie, man, because I really want to see this weapon at the forefront of some PvP activities, man, here in Destiny.
Change your mind. We can never find each other.
At number 1, guys, DREG'S Promise. Look, when you first get this weapon, you just, I don't know, to me, I was really excited to get it. I was expecting a lot out of it. And then it just turned out to be absolute garbage for a number of reasons here. Number 1, it's not hit scan. If you haven't noticed, a lot of your hockey weapons that you've actually played with, your sidearms are all hit scans, making it actually hit instantaneously. Well, with DREG'S Promise, it actually works as projectiles, meaning it takes longer. That's right. If you notice, whenever you're shooting somebody with DREG'S Promise, the delay there is so long as far as when it actually hits. You'll be dead before you even know it. The TTK time for this, man, at 3 bursts, that's 7 crits, guys, is at 0.9 seconds, making it the worst sidearm out of all of them. And the body shot TTK time is even worse than that, and it's still worse than all the other sidearms. The thing about this weapon, man, is I don't even know why it's even classified as exotic. There's nothing that I find beneficial about this weapon. You can go and say, it works for me, I've used it before, but I can promise you, man, I tried it so many times against most of the players that I run into in different lobbies, and it was just absolute garbage. As many people have put it there on Reddit, dude, the only good thing that you can actually get out of a DREG'S Promise is to be able to break it down for that exotic shard, and that's about it, or upgrading your other weapons to a certain light level. But for the most part, guys, this is by far the number 1 weapon you shouldn't be using. Now granted, fellas, this is all my opinion. 5 weapons that I wouldn't even be using. But at the same token, I tend to load myself out with Telesto bunch. I like the damn fusion rifle. Sure, results in me getting a trade 90% of the time, but it's a fun damn gun. Something about shooting somebody and walking away or dying and letting them think for just a brief moment that they were victorious, just to watch it explode in their face, is just something glorious about it. Especially up in Trials, man. I enjoyed it in Trials this past weekend. Now, if you're new to my channel, man, hit that subscribe button, dude. We're not always the most politically correct around here, but we're pretty damn alright. Alright, fellas, as always, slap that like button like your mama told you right.